Okay, crafty critters. Today I'm going to be working with this old rusted piece of chicken wire because I don't discard anything. And I'm also going to be working with some feathers. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use yet, but I'm going to try to make a little bird. So come along with me as I try to figure it out and see how it works. Ready? I like these little brown ones, but I think I'm going to start with the colorful ones. Now, I've already cut off a piece of the chicken wire because I'm going to make a little bird. I don't want to try to make a big one because a lot of times when I do big projects, I get bored with them. So I'm going to start with the little one. If I really like it, if it works out, I might make a bigger one. So I'm just going to roll it up nice and tight so that it can hold the feathers is what my plan is. And kind of shape it a little bit like a bird. Like, kind of bow in the back a little bit. And then I'm going to have to cut off some of this so that I can squish the last little piece into a little round shape for the head. And I'm going to try to leave one of these little metal pieces sticking out for a beak. But we'll see if that works out. And I'm also trying to get all those sharp pieces tucked in so they don't tear up the feathers and my fingers. That's looking pretty good. So I really like these colorful ones. I thought about the brown, but I really like color. I guess it's that beachy part of me that really likes big pops of color. So this is my idea, is to just poke the quill end in and then maybe put a little bit of hot glue in the hole. Or maybe just glue down the back of it. So I may as well just dive on in and see how it works. And no, I do not have a ghost in here. Those feathers are moving from the air conditioner. I want to mix around the colors. I want some of the polka dots to show, but I want some of the solid color also. And the good thing about crafting is if I start putting them on and it looks ugly, I mean, it's hot glue. I can just pull them off and start over. So, just going to put a couple and see if it's going to work out or if we're going to start over. And I'm not going to speed up much of this video. I'm just going to cut out the real unnecessary parts, but I've had a couple email conversations with a couple of subscribers that they don't really like me making the short videos that are really sped up. Ooh, I like that turquoise. But they didn't really like me speeding up the video because they say they can't really see what I'm doing. So just so you'll know, if you don't already know, that you can hit the gear icon. When I have the video sped up, you can hit the gear icon and go and slow it down. Or like right now that I'm not speeding it up, if it gets boring and repetitious, you want to see, but you want to see it a little faster, you can hit the gear icon and speed it up. Now, if you're on a computer, the gear is on the bottom right. And then you'll click that gear and then you'll click playback speed. But if you're on a phone, the gear icon is on the top right. And if you're watching it on a TV, I don't know. That I couldn't tell you. See, I'm kind of wanting him a little bit fluffier. Well, that's not working. I'm also trying to cover up, you see where the quill, I'm poking the end of the quill into the inside of the body, but then that line that goes down the back, that's why I'm trying to kind of overlap them so that that line that goes down the middle of the feather, I can kind of cover that up. And I don't think I'm going to cover the bottom of it. We'll see when I get the rest of it covered. Because I'm not very good at making feet, like chicken feet, duck feet. I was working on a rooster the other day that I thought was going to be so cute. I shaped it out of chicken wire and I was covering it with ribbon. And it was one of those ideas that you think is going to be really great, and then you start doing it and it's like, wasn't what I pictured in my mind. But anyway, I had worked hard on making little legs and feet for it, and I just hated the whole thing. I kept trying to make it work, and I said, no, this is hideous. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just put a piece on, and then you could like bend it this way or that way when you glue it down to kind of curve it around to cover up if you got a little hole. Feels like I'm covering up all my polka dots though. Except those on the side. I don't know what kind of bird this is, so don't even ask. I have no clue. It's just I don't know, imaginary bird. Psychedelic bird. I still need to do something with that little piece sticking off in the front. And I also was thinking about giving it a tail, or maybe like a split tail or 2 or 3 long feathers coming off the back. But a lot of times, when you're doing crafts, you just have to start going. Just start doing it, and then sometimes things just fall into place, and you like it. So I'm hoping that part will fall into place. Like the head of this, because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I might have to cut some feathers to cover the head. And I was going to tell you, these little, I don't know if anybody's going to like these wild feathers, but I kind of like them. I'm going to put a link to them. It's good old Amazon. All these feathers I got on Amazon. I've had them for a good while. I've made a couple projects. I didn't videotape them. But oftentimes I put not oftentimes, every time I put links. If I've used any kind of materials that you need to buy, I put links in my description. But people still email me or put comments and say, where'd you get this or where'd you get that? So I have decided to start making a copy of the whatever I put in the description for the supplies, I'm going to also put it in a pinned comment. So it'll be the first comment. I really want that green one, but seems like it doesn't want me. It looks like I have too many dark colors, like I need an orange or a green. Now, y'all, if you haven't worked with chicken wire before, for some reason I was intimidated by the thought of it. It is so easy to work with. It's cheap. You get a lot. I think I paid $5 or $10 for the last roll I got, and I've made a bunch of stuff with it. It was back when I was making that chicken wire man, which I gave away, and I kicked myself for having given it away because it was really cute sitting out in my yard. But anyway, the chicken wire it's so versatile. I've figured out a lot of things to do with it. I wrapped it around my blueberry bush to keep the birds from eating all my blueberries. You can put it around your tomato plants. You can make crafts with it. I can't even think of all the things I've done with it, but I just know that it's kind of like me with zip ties. I told one of my neighbors one time, I said, "Hey, I got a problem." And he said, "What? You're out of zip ties?" Yeah, I use zip ties for a lot of things. Things that people wouldn't usually use them for, like putting up my fence for my dog. But chicken wire's the same way. When the roll starts getting low, I'm going to be ordering another roll. It's come in handy for a lot of things, but especially for crafting. Just think about it. You can shape it into any shape like I just did for this bird. And I should have showed y'all the rooster. I had shaped a rooster out of the chicken wire. It was pretty good size, like a foot long and a foot tall. But once I started putting the ribbons on, they weren't coming out the way I was wanting, and I was getting frustrated. So I left it alone and came back to look at it, and it was still hideous. You know, sometimes you'll leave a craft and you'll come back. Either I'll think it's really cute, and then I'll come back and look and think, what was I thinking? Or I'll think it's hideous, and when I come back, I say, oh, that's pretty cute. So I wish I would have saved the rooster. I thought I did good on the shaping him out of the chicken wire. I could have probably done something else with him, but I was so frustrated, I just threw the whole thing away. But even like this little bird, I've never made a bird before, but you see how easy it was? You just ball it up and shape it a little bit. Let's see this one. Hey, that's kind of cute. Maybe two of them, for some reason I'm thinking like a split tail. But I had also thought initially about making a cardinal with all red ribbons. Get in there. There. That's kind of cute and looks natural. How it's not perfect. I need to glue down that green. Maybe not the purple. I love these feathers. Too much. I literally, when I dug out my feathers, I forgot I had all these cool feathers, like those pink ones. I might try to make a flamingo, because I love flamingos. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. His head looks a little small. But what I'm thinking is if I put the fluffy parts on the head, not the flat parts with the polka dots, but the fluffy parts, he'll look more bird-like. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've had to stop the video because the cat. I don't know if I told y'all I got a cat back in September. I got it for Jeffrey to have a little friend because I was thinking 2 dogs is too much because Jeffrey and I, we try to walk 4 or 5 days a week. We walk 2 miles, and I don't want to try to do that with 2 dogs. And when I had that foster kitten, he loved that cat. And so I felt really guilty when I finally found a home for it. So I said, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Neighbor had a cat that got killed, and it had kittens. And so they had all these kittens they were going to take to the pound. And I said, okay, I'll take one. And Jeffrey has just never really liked this cat. And I'm not a big cat person. So I'm stuck with a cat. And every time I get up here to make a video, especially like all these feathers, she's going crazy. Sometimes when I'm reaching my hand off screen, I'm picking up the spray bottle. So a spray bottle of water, she just knows when she sees me pick up that bottle. She takes off running. Now that looks funny because it's just flat on that one end. Maybe I need to trim it some more. Or see if I can get it to flatten down. It just doesn't want to stay down. It's not going to be very fluffy by the time I get it to stay down. Okay, let's see. See how I got it all flattened out? Oh, it came back out. Okay, maybe if I tuck it under and poke that little end of the quill. Ugh. Needs something. Let me see if this will get it under there. If I could get it under the chicken wire, just it trying to pop up should hold it in place. Now, I still have a problem about what I'm going to do for a beak. I haven't thought that far ahead. Let me cut this little piece of chicken wire sticking up. But I have some little black seed beads that I think might be perfect for the size of this little guy's head. Oh, look, that red one. You see that little end of the quill? It might work perfect for the beak. If not, I could trim it up a little bit on each side to make the quill stick out longer. See how it just barely peeks out? Oh, I hate all the strings from the glue. And I don't like that line going down the middle. I like to cover that up because then it looks fake. So maybe this little fuzzy piece, cover it up. I'm still working with these yellow. I found a bunch more of these yellow glue sticks. And y'all know I don't like to waste or throw anything away, so I'm using them everywhere I can use them without them showing through. I thought I had used them all up. Oh, that looks pretty cute. Look, that looks cute. He looks like an exotic bird, and you can see his little beak. See that little piece of the quill? I just trimmed some of this feathers around so it sticks out more. He's got a heck of a hairdo. I think I got enough red on here. Yeah, I need some green. It kind of pops. What do you think? It's like a little turtleneck. Yeah, I think so. Now, the more I look at him, the more I wish maybe I hadn't even put the polka dots and just used the fuzzy part all over his whole body. Which is an idea, you could form like a little bird and then cover it with yellow fuzzy feathers and make you a little duck. Ah, there it goes. Yeah, that looks pretty cute. He looks like he's very exotic. So, I need to go back and trim a little bit of that green around his beak. You see what I mean? It's so fuzzy that his beak kind of gets lost. It still needs something on his back. Yeah. Need to cover up the spiny parts. I probably should have put a turquoise. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but he's actually pretty cute. Okay, see, I'm just going to take a little seed bead and turn it, like I'm not going to put it round. I'm not going to lay it flat down. I'm going to put it up on the edge so it's like a little slit. Because if I lay it down, it's going to have that hole in the center, which maybe could work. But look, that looks like about the right size. I don't know, I need better lighting because I'm always wondering if y'all can really see what I'm seeing. I need like a big, one of those big lights. Like he's just about done. Okay, so here is the final. And I'm really quite happy with it. It turned out better than I thought it would. It looked, that little end of the feather even looks like a little beak. So my plan is, I have these old candle holders and I'm trying to figure out something to do with them. So I think I'm going to spray paint this. I'm going to collect up some pine needles outside and make a little nest to sit on top of here and then set my little bird in the nest. So if this is painted, you won't see that, then have the little bird nest popped up here. But I just like how he's so colorful, and really it just, as usual, I make it everything for the first time when something just comes in my head and I just turn on the camera and video as I'm working on it. Now, trust me, I've made some things that came out hideous, nothing like I was planning, and I just bought them up, put them in the trash, delete the video. I've had plenty of those. This one I really like. It's so cute. So that's it for today. I will see you on the next one. Oh, I also wanted to say thank you to Deidre McLaughlin and Cynthia Kane for all of your comments on my video. It really helps my channel and I appreciate you so much. So that's it for today. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.